Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the stream. Today we are going to be playing Command and Conquer Red Alert 3. But before I do, I just wanted to go over the voice cast for Command and Conquer Red Alert 3 because it is stacked with some amazing voice actors. I mean, you have Gina Carano, who's obviously famous for Mandalorian, but you've got Tim Curry as the leader of the Russians. You've got J.K. Simmons as the president. You've got George Takei as the leader of the Japanese forces. You have Peter Stormare as a doctor. Jonathan Pryce. Kelly Hu. I mean, these are just some amazing names. And I thought I'd just point that out quickly before we get into the game because it's a fantastic game, but the thing that makes it so good is not just the gameplay, but the cast and the fact that it's all of the cutscenes are in live action, so you get like this brilliant sort of cheesy satirical acting from everyone, and it's just fantastic. So without further ado, I'm going to hop into the game and hopefully everything should be going good. Let me just make sure actually before I start, because I have not set that to what it should be. So, just double check that that's coming through on OBS. Yep, it is. Lovely. So, if you don't know about Command and Conquer Red Alert 3, this is... I haven't played the other two. Before we start, though, I probably will just turn the audio down a little tad. I think it might be music. So I'm going to turn that music down just a little bit. So I haven't played the other two, but from what I played this ages ago when it first came out. This is a game from 2008, by the way. So this is over 10 years old now. This is about 15 years old. So the general story is that in an alternate World War II timeline, the Russians are losing. So instead of fighting the Nazis, the Allies are fighting the Russians. And in this game, the setup to this game is that as they are on the brink of collapse, the Russian army, they decide, and this is just a brilliant concept, they decide to go back in time to kill Albert Einstein so that when they go forwards in time again, they are essentially the world's leading faction. Like, there's no nuclear weapons, there's no atomic bombs, there's nothing like that because Einstein just doesn't exist anymore. So they are the strongest military. However, what they failed to see was that Japan would rise up as a military power, and now they are not only fighting the Allies, but Japan has declared war on the Russians. So this game has three factions all fighting against each other, and through the campaign, you can play as either the Russians, the Americans, or the Allies, and the Japanese, and you can kind of switch between them and sort of play them at your own pace. And obviously in the versus mode, you're against whoever you want to be against. So I thought we'd start with the campaign. We're probably going to play as the Russians because that's the main faction that we are going to be seeing throughout this game. But first, I want to play the tutorials because I have not played this game in 15 years, so I cannot remember a single thing about this game. However, it is a Command and Conquer game, so it's a basic base building, unit killing game. Oh, that's brilliant. So I would turn up the resolution because it has got 1920 by 1080, and I tried that before I started the stream, but it completely broke the game. I couldn't get back onto it at all. Like, I alt-tabbed out to see what was going on, but it broke the game. And I couldn't get back onto it, so I just decided to run it at 8x6 or 800 by 600. So I am sorry that it looks a little bit. It doesn't look the best, but I thought it might actually fit with the old nostalgia. So we're just going through, right mouse button. I've just come off playing Dawn of War where moving the camera is middle mouse button, so I'm not a massive fan of this. There we go. There we go. So it resets to there. I might just use the edge cursor scrolling or just click on this map instead of the right button, right mouse button. So I'll just bash through all these tutorials really quickly and then we'll get into the campaign. There we go. And then obviously you can just box select. So I really like these sorts of games, real-time strategy games. And I said that I think I would play this one or something similar. So if you are enjoying this so far, I know we've only just started, but if you do enjoy this game, thank you for joining. I'll just let these lot bicker. So, if you are enjoying this game so far, I know that we've only just started, but welcome. I have been playing, like I said, Dawn of War recently, which is another real-time strategy game, and these are, I really enjoy these style of games. So if you have any recommendations, please let me know, and I will see if I can play them. I got this as a bundle, which was the base game and all of the DLC that they released. I literally just got it like 5 minutes before starting this stream. Got it for about £20. So it's actually really, really cheap compared to what I expected it to be. Obviously, it's an old game, so £20 might sound a lot for an old game, but when you get all that DLC, so there you go. Blue is obviously us, pink is neutral, and red is enemies. So just typical RTS at the moment, just learning how to navigate, how to send units, how to send units in to attack things, and how to move them about. Well, that's a lot of peacekeepers. All right. Okay. Let me just select them all. No. Let me select them all again. Do I only have... Oh, there's 12 there. I couldn't see the 2. So I'll armor it. I'll attack move there. So then they should start attacking as soon as they get there. There we go. And obviously as they attack and kill, they move up, which is what it wants me to do. I'm then going to set it there. Nice. I don't usually use that in Dawn of War. I just get them to move and shoot, so it looks like it's going to be quite effective here. So I'm just going to, while we're waiting, while the next mission is loading, I'm just going to check my OBS. Yep, everything's good. Yep, so far so good. So we'll get back into it and go straight on to the next mission, or the tutorial, because I cannot remember how to base build in this game. Is the... I can't tell if the audio of the game is coming through though, that's the only problem. Let me... Okay, bear with me a second. I'm going to do this. Let me just stick everyone on the be right back screen. Okay, and we are back. So I was just trying to get it into windowed mode, which I managed to do. So now that way I can see if the game audio is coming over, and it is not for some reason. So what do I need to do here? Give me 2 seconds. Nope. Not what I want. Oh, yes. So what I did is, there we go. So that needs to go to Command and Conquer. Then if that's the wrong one. Now it's coming through, lovely. Right, so if you stuck with me, I apologise for not having any game audio. You didn't really miss too much, it was a tutorial. And you'll be able to hear it now anyway. But we are going to be playing the tutorials, just so I can actually remember how to play this game.
In this mission, we'll be reminding you all about constructing a base for each of the factions. We'll
just turn it down a little bit.
For obvious reasons. Things first, though. On the right side of the screen is the sidebar, which is where you manage all your base construction.
I may turn the resolution up now. It's in windowed mode, because I can barely see that. It's in 800 by 600, which is fine when it's in full screen, but not as fine when it's in windowed.
To unpack it, select it, then click on its special ability button at the bottom right of your screen.
So if I just quickly, because I think, yeah, so that's 800 by. Can I not change that? I'll see if I can actually change that on the main menu. There we go. So I don't want to do 1920 by 1080 because that might break it again. I'll do 1280. That should be big enough. There we go. No? Okay, hold on. It's broken again. No, it wants to default to 800 by 6, and there's probably a way to probably is a way to, if I do 720, there we go. So I've made the screen a little bit bigger so I can actually read what's going on because I have dreadful eyesight. So it's in 1280 by 720, I think now.
Good to have you, Commander. In this mission,
yeah, that's a bit better.
We'll be reminding you all about constructing a base for each of the factions.
Hopefully it's coming through on the stream all right. There's not much I can do if it's not, because obviously I can't put it in full windowed mode because of... Will you stop talking?
Here we have one of the hated Allied mobile construction vehicles. The MCV will unpack into a construction yard. To unpack it, select it. Then click on its special ability button at the bottom right of your screen. Go on, don't be shy.
Observe the ghosted image of the construction yard attached to your cursor. Now left-click anywhere on open terrain to open your MCV to unpack at that location.
There? There? Where? And where do I put it? Oh, here. I see.
Deploying as ordered.
So, yes, I do apologize if it's not coming through all that best on the stream because I cannot
setting up.
Put it in windowed mode and check the stream at the same time because I'm only using one monitor.
In general,
one monitor.
Special abilities are executed with the left mouse button or cancelled with the right mouse button. However, the right mouse button is used for basic orders.
Bear in mind that there may be impassable areas of the map where you're not allowed to place down your structures. When you try to place a structure down over impassable or unbuildable terrain, red cells will appear on the build grid indicating that you're unable to place a structure there.
Now that your MCV has unpacked into a construction yard, you should have some new construction options available
see.
to you.
Yes.
To access your production structure's build queue, select the con yard or click on the production
Nope, that's not what I
tab
wanted.
that's flashing. Whoa, look at what we have here. Looks like you have access to build a power plant. Ow!
Don't overdo it. Commander, select the power plant button to begin building it. All allied structures build over time inside the construction yard. Once they're ready, you'll be able to place them on the battlefield.
Oh, I see.
Right
That's an
away.
interesting
Your
way of
power
building.
plant is now ready to be placed. Simply left-click on its button and move your mouse over open terrain. Then left-click on an open spot on the terrain.
Could I not? So I'm going to
That's
pop
the
it
way.
there.
As the name suggests, a power plant provides your base with power. All your structures, with the exception of your power plant and construction yard, use power. You can tell how much power you've got to spare by glancing at the power meter next to your radar. It's important to understand the consequences of a low power situation. While in low power, your units and structures will build at a reduced speed, and your base defenses won't work. So it's always good to have plenty of power as you build up.
The next thing you'll need to get base humming along is an ore refinery. This structure comes with a free prospector vehicle, which will collect ore from that nearby ore mine. To build your ore refinery, select the production tab and select the ore refinery button, just as you did with the power plant.
Bear
Okay.
in mind that a single ore refinery likely will not be enough to fund your military escapades. Try to build an ore refinery next to each ore mine near your base, but be careful to defend them.
That makes sense.
Now that construction is complete, click the ore refinery button and consider where to place it on the battlefield.
Well, obviously where you're
While
showing
you're
me.
able to place your refinery anywhere on open terrain, the optimal location is just in front of an ore mine. You'll see those spots ghosted on the terrain. As you move your cursor over those spots, your structure preview should snap to the optimal position. Then, just click to place your ore refinery and you're set.
Nice.
Hi. Executed.
When you place your ore refinery, you get a prospector as part of the deal, and he'll go about collecting ore for you automatically. Pro tip, friend. If by some freak accident one of your prospectors or ore collectors is destroyed, you can always build another from your ore refineries. Just select the ore refinery and you'll see it can build another resource vehicle as its special ability. As long as your ore refinery is close to a mine, you only need one vehicle gathering from it. So don't waste credits making more of those little tykes than you need.
I always wonder, though, how come the mightiest nations in the world need to collect ore while killing each other? I mean, what is even in that stuff? Ow!
Don't ask ridiculous questions. Ore is the primary resource in Red Alert 3. Refineries automatically converted to credits, which is the currency used to purchase all units and structures. Ore mines have a finite amount of resources that will eventually slow to trickle. So, if you deplete an ore mine, it's best to try and expand to another in order to maintain a steady income.
You now have power and an economy set up. You're ready to start training units for the fight.
Okay, so we'll
From your
obviously build a
production
parrot.
tab, go ahead and build a boot camp. Remember to place it down by selecting its icon, then left-clicking on open terrain. Incidentally, you can rotate the face of a structure you're about to plop down by holding down the left mouse button and moving the mouse around.
I was wondering how you
Let
did
go
that.
of the button when ready.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'll just stick them here for now because I don't think it really matters.
Now that you have a boot camp, you're able to train some infantry. To do this, you may select either your boot camp or the infantry tab under your radar. This will bring up the available units you're able to train. Let's train some so-called peacekeepers.
Okay.
Select the peacekeeper button to start training one. You may queue up multiple peacekeepers by continuing to select on his portrait.
Try holding the shift key to queue up 5 of those blokes at a time.
Okay, I'll
You
just
can
do.
also halt the
There we go.
production of units or structures by right-clicking on a production button. Right-clicking a second time will cancel production and refund any credits that were spent.
Oh, I
Clicking on a
see.
post-production process will resume production.
That's quite
You can set
interesting.
a different rally point for them by selecting the structure and right-clicking some other place. All three factions produce units in the same way, from the respective tabs in the sidebar. By the by, many of your structures aren't restricted to being built on land. You can set them up on water as well. If you build another power plant, try placing it out in the drink. It doesn't cost you any extra, and most ground units won't be able to get to it that way.
Observe, however, that allied structures may only be built in the radius surrounding the construction yard. You may expand your build radius by creating command hubs, which convert from your prospectors. Please select your
Oh, I
prospector
see.
and use its special ability to unpack it somewhere. Across the water, perhaps. Go
Okay.
ahead, Commander.
And then if I go here... Oh, hello.
Right away.
Okay, I'm stuck. No, my mouse is just completely stuck now.
Nice day for a drive.
That's not... Right,
It's
no.
a beautiful day.
Okay, I'm gonna have to stop doing that then because that's... Oh, this is insane. Right. Resume. Where is he?
How's your day, sir?
Can I... I'm gonna have to do it incrementally, aren't I?
away.
There we go, so we'll get him back here. I don't know why that was so painful, this mouse. So I think I mentioned in the last stream that I'd set up my microphone a bit better now. I did a bunch of things to it. I added some filters, added a compressor, an equalizer to boost those silky lows.
Objective complete.
So hopefully it sounds all nice now, because I know the first one probably had a lot of background noise. I haven't watched them back
Yeah,
yet.
that's it.
But
Also,
there was probably
bear
some
in mind
background
that the
noise and it
Allies'
wasn't the
technology
loudest
level
because it
is
was
local
too
to their
far away.
construction yards or command hubs. That means not all your production structures on the battlefield may offer you the same construction options. You can upgrade your construction yard or your command hub by clicking the Heightened Clearance button with one of these structures selected. Try requesting heightened clearance on both your con yard and your command hub now.
Okay, so that's just the next tier of tech. That'll be fine.
On alert.
So as you can see, you can just do things
That's
from
it.
here as
Now
well.
the other.
Construction options.
So there's new construction options apparently. Upgrade both your construction yard and command hub by selecting them. I see. So far this is quite typical base building RTS stuff.
Upgrade complete. Objective complete.
There it is. Heightened clearance costs you, and there's an even higher clearance level available after that. You need to decide when and where to request better tech when commanding the Allies, else things may turn rotten.
Yes. Also, should you ever have need to run away like a little girl, you may pack up your conyard, then unpack it on the water. The boot camp and armor facility are the only Allied structures you may not place on the water. Your seaport, on the other hand, is the only structure you may not build on land.
Makes sense.
Ow! What was that for?
Silence! Surely the commander wants to move on to the other factions by now. Feel free to continue dabbling with the allies, then select me when you are ready to continue.
So I think I'll probably
someone to
just
take a look
go
around?
straight on anyway. Because I've done the Allied base. And it seems pretty typical, so... Obviously a seaport for all the water units, an armor for vehicles, or an armor facility for vehicles, airbase for Sky, then a defense bureau, I'm not sure what that does at the minute. But I can probably just work that out when I play. So, so this is, unlike, this is a lot like, if anyone ever played Halo Wars, yet another real-time strategy game that I really enjoyed. But they had a similar thing where there was vehicles, so they had units or infantry units. So you could have grunts, space marines, normal marines. You could have flamethrowers, I think they had, like flamethrower units. And then you could have vehicles, so you could have warthogs, you could have a scorpion tank, and then they did air units as well. So I think I can never remember the name, but it's the small helicopter thing that looks like the one from Avatar. Again, I can't remember the name. But that was a similar thing. So this is, I imagine it'll be quite similar, where infantry is good against certain units and weak against others. Vehicles are going to be good against some units, weak against others. Air units, same again. Land units, water units rather. So we're just going to carry on with the other factions because they obviously do things slightly differently.
This monstrosity is the Soviet construction yard. You will see that the Soviets build differently from the Allies. Select the construction yard or the production tab, then select the reactor button. Now place the reactor on open terrain as you
I see, so that just shows me where I
structures.
could place those. Okay.
Do not wait for the reactor to build in the queue, for you would wait forever. Unlike the Allies, the Soviets carelessly build their structures out on the battlefield.
Notice how the structure is hastily being thrown together in the field. While it's building up, it's vulnerable to enemy attack. So be cautious when placing your structures. All Soviet structures build up in this way.
Just like the Allies, however, you can pause and cancel a structure's buildup by right-clicking on its button. And of course, your Soviet structures may be placed at sea, with the exceptions of the barracks and war factory.
Oi, aren't you forgetting something?
Yet. At least, not anymore. Commander, one truly unique Soviet structure you should be aware of is the Crusher Crane. Try building one now from your production structures queue.
Okay. I don't know where. I'll put it
Crusher
there.
cranes work much like construction yards. So now, you can build two structures at once from your two separate build queues. What's more, your crane's repair drones will automatically repair nearby vehicles.
Oh, I see.
Or you can order these vehicles into its grinders to crush them for a quick refund. To access your newly added build queues, select the buttons added to the sidebar. Or, click the tabs in the sidebar.
That's
to
quite
cycle
interesting,
between
how
queues.
it shows
You
you
can build multiple production
a
structures
sub-tab.
to gain more build queues, allowing you to build more stuff at once. Of course, you'll need plenty of income to support this. Now, please feel free to continue exploring the richness of the Soviet build system. When you're done, please select the tsunami tank to proceed.
I think I will, just because I
Objective
haven't done
complete.
much Soviet stuff yet. I think I do want to see what their units are like.
Construction complete. New construction options.
I see, so you can only build one at a time, but if you have more than one, you can build two at the same. I see. So as you can see, we can have bears if we're the Soviets, conscripts, flak troopers, combat engineers, Natasha, who's I think a commander unit, and a Tesla trooper.
Construction complete. New
So if I
construction
just-
Ready for the
options.
collection.
I'm going to
Training.
queue 5 bears just so we can see what they're like.
Low
Ready for
power.
the collection.
That's as far as I can zoom in, but look at them. Oh, look at him, he's quite cute actually. Ooh, paralyzes nearby enemy infantry with a deafening war cry. I like that. So you can see there, it says amphibious. I imagine that means that they can, because they're bears, they can swim. Let me just test that. Yeah, so you can see that they can attack things in water and travel through water as well as on land. Whereas if I get a
Training.
conscript,
Conscript training finished.
he is anti-infantry and anti-garrison. So he's good against infantry and garrisons, but he can't go over water. As you can see there, it just blocks me. So that's quite interesting. That's quite good to know. So what else? What other buildings have they got? For now, I'm going to build another one of these, just so I can actually have a little bit of a mess about. I'll do a war factory to see... Oh, that's not what I wanted. Do a war factory to see what their vehicles are like. And obviously it breaks down your power consumption and production there, so that's quite nice. This is why I like these sorts of games, because if they're done right and you have all the information you need, but it's presented in a way that's not like too obtrusive, it's brilliant. Obviously an ore collector, a Sputnik, they can set up expansion bases, a drone, Sickle, which is a walker unit, Bullfrog, which is the amphibious. That's also amphibious. The MCV, self-powered production vehicles used to push front lines. So the hammer tank, which is what the commander is, needs a super reactor and needs an anti-armor tank. I like that. Very nice. I'll see what the air units are like in this one actually as well, because I haven't looked at any air units yet.
At last! Let us continue, Commander, for this will be worth it. The Empire of the Rising Sun has the most unique build system in that our structures are all created from special units called nanocores. Cores may unfurl at the location of your choosing, much like an MCV unpacks into a construction yard. However, unfurled Imperial structures cannot pack back up. Go into your production structures queue and build a generator core. The generator core
That's
will be
interesting.
yours to control as soon as it emerges from your construction yard. If you select it, you may give it move commands around the map like any unit. To unfurl it into an instant generator while having it selected, use its unfurled special ability, much like you did with the MCV earlier in this lesson. You should now have a ghosted image of the instant generator attached to your cursor. Select a spot on open terrain to make your generator core unfurl at that location. All nanocore are amphibious, so they can cross land as well as water. This means the Empire of the Rising Sun can spread its borders far and wide. The Imperial Docks is the only structure that cannot unfurl on land, while the Mecha Bay and Instant Dojo cannot unfurl at sea.
Which
One
makes
last thing
sense.
about Imperial production structures. They must be upgraded individually to unlock new construction options. You'll find these upgrades in their build queues. Now, Commander, do you see how superior our production capability is compared with that of my barbaric friends here?
I still think ours is better. Oh no. Ow! Ow!
Keep fussing with the Imperial build system if you want, and when you're all set, select me and we'll wrap up.
So we'll have a try. I'm going to do... Because I wanted to see air, didn't I? All Imperial vehicles, all naval vessels. So for that I need an ore refinery.
Building.
Okay. So I'll do that just for now, just to see.
Refinery core ready.
I don't know why it's in English.
Refinery core.
I'd love for it to be in Japanese. And in that case, I'd rather the Soviets speak Russian when they come out. But I understand why they went with English, because you wouldn't be able to understand them if you don't speak those languages. Okay. So now I have a refinery.
Construction complete. New
I
construction.
don't need that ore
options.
collector. I'm going to try
Building.
Mecha Bay, see if See if that can get me some air units. Just do it there, might as well for now. So as you can see, it takes a while. Does that do air units? Yes, so that would be the striker.
Construction complete. New construction options.
Pilot assisted robots that can assault by land or sea or turbo. I'm gonna have a Mecha Tengu. Just to see, because I haven't done air units yet.
Mecha Tengu, let's go!
So Mecha Tengu. Oh, that's quite cool. And then you can have him in mecha mode.
Burning air!
So that's interesting to know.
Ikuzo! Hitting the boost!
And then if I make him mecha again.
Let's go!
Ah, that is really cool. I like that.
Tengu, go!
Right. I will leave this mission here for now.
Well, that concludes the lesson on base building. Don't worry, the other ones will be shorter. Mostly. Let's shove off, lads. Commander, see you then.
Ow!
I do like how they managed to give the vehicles personality as well. So, units and abilities. I guess that would be a good idea. Support powers, advanced tactics. Yeah, I'm just going to quickly run through these. I say quickly, it's nearly been an hour. But I thought it'd be nice to have the tutorial up anyway, just so people can see.
In this lesson, you're going to get acquainted with your units and some of the abilities that make them unique. Every unit in Red Alert 3 has some sort of special ability, in addition to its primary ability. The majority of your unit's primary abilities is to attack their targets. A unit's special ability may put a nasty status effect on an enemy, switch to an alternate weapon, or even transform into an entirely different unit.
Let us go over how to use special abilities now.
So I kind of gathered anyway, but I thought I'd just do the tutorial in case there's anything I missed.
Select that allied cryocopter, if you please.
I
The
have done.
cryocopter's special ability is the Shrink Beam. With
Shrink
the cryocopter
beam.
selected, left-click on its special ability button in the bottom right of your screen, or press the F key. Notice that the Shrink Beam is a targeted special ability, which means you have to left-click on a target to use it. Other types of special abilities take effect as soon as you press the ability button. Now then, use the Shrink Beam on my good friend the Soviet Hammer tank.
Wait, what? No way, not me again!
Extra small.
Nice.
As stated earlier, not all special abilities need to be targeted like the cryocopter's Shrink Beam. Some abilities cause units to switch weapon modes.
Okay.
Blimey, that tank looks like he's lost control, and all you've got is an allied hydrofoil. Its primary weapon is an anti-air cannon that won't do you any good here. However, if you use its special ability, it'll switch from its gun to the weapon jammer. Select the hydrofoil now and ready the weapon jammer by left-clicking on its special ability button or hitting the F key. Proper. Now, have your hydrofoil fire on that Soviet Apocalypse tank on the shore.
Take her out for a cruise.
Oh, I see. It has to fire on it.
Ah, so much for that tea party. As you can see, the Apocalypse tank can no longer fire. Not so scary now, is he? So remember, even the toughest enemy units may be vulnerable to your lesser units' special abilities. Learn them all and never give up.
If you're finished with your motivational speech, perhaps we can continue? Commander, let's go over a unit whose special ability is to transform.
Oh, I
One
already went
basic
over this,
example
but-
is the MCV, though let us take a look at a more exciting case in one of the Empire of the Rising Sun's versatile Mecha Tengu units. The Mecha Tengu is an amphibious, hovering anti-infantry unit that can transform into the Jet Tengu, a flying air superiority fighter. Not only does the transform ability affect how it navigates the battlefield, it also means the unit changes from having anti-ground weapons to anti-air weapons. Select the Mecha Tengu and use its special ability. Impressive, no?
Nice.
Now, order your Jet Tengu to destroy that miserable cryocopter. Oh, and don't worry, it is merely a training robot carefully disguised to look like a real vehicle.
No robots are going to get past you, Commander. You should know there are some units at your disposal whose primary ability either isn't a weapon at all, or will change depending on what you tell it to attack. For example, each faction has its own type of engineer unit.
Look at
like
them
this swarthy
dolphins.
fellow over here. Engineers are special units that can capture any enemy structure or neutral tech structure. Much like with moving or attacking, you can select your engineer and right-click on a capturable structure. That'll make him go after it. Look, there seems to be an oil derrick you can capture out in the water.
Right,
Oil
where is
derricks
it?
are neutral tech structures that provide additional income. Go get it.
It's over there.
Might be useful.
So that's an interesting feature, capturing buildings. So you don't have to destroy them, you can just capture
Off
them.
he goes. Note that engineers are amphibious, so they automatically switch to a keen aquatic form when they get to water. Not all units are amphibious, of course. Notice you can issue capture commands into the fog of war, assuming the structure is still there when you get to it.
Hey, where did that engineer go anyway? Ow!
He went into the structure, you fool, and there he shall remain forever. For that is the way of the engineer.
I really
You
like
may
this
have
game's
noticed
humour.
that when you highlighted that enemy structure with your engineer selected, your cursor changed to a garrison cursor. That garrison cursor indicates a structure you can enter. Your basic infantry can't garrison enemy structures or neutral tech structures like the engineer can, but they can garrison civilian structures such as hotels and houses.
Fear not, for civilians have long since abandoned such structures once they heard we were
Ow.
coming.
When infantry garrison these structures, they receive extra protection, as the building they're in will take damage instead of the units themselves, should they come under fire. Garrisoning your units into civilian structures is a good tactic, both from an offensive and a defensive perspective. It helps to secure locations, force enemies to take an alternate path, or give your units more cover near to your base should the enemy send a force to
Which is-
destroy you. Now garrison that
sense.
nearby structure by issuing a move order onto it whilst having some peacekeepers selected.
And as you can see up there, it'll probably explain this to me, but you can have a certain amount, so you can only
Good.
have
Here
5.
comes trouble. As you can see, those enemy
Destroyed.
training robots fired upon the structure rather than directly at your peacekeepers. Watch out though, because each
Oop.
faction has ways of clearing out garrison structures.
The Allies and Empire can try rushing their peacekeepers or Imperial warriors into a garrison structure, while the Soviet conscripts can use their Molotov cocktails.
Of course, you could just blow the structures up if you cannot be bothered by such details.
Now, let's say you need to get your peacekeepers out of the structure. Just select the structure and use the evacuate command, just like using a special ability on a unit. Do this now.
Well, can I select it then? There we go. Now I just have a bot. There we go. Again, this game is quite old and my PC isn't up to snuff, so it'll probably
Some of
have
your units
issues
can
like
also
that.
be garrisoned by your infantry. The multi-gunner IFV is a unique allied vehicle.
Sorry, just trying to ban
Infantry
bots
unit
from
hops
chat. I don't know how long that's been
Order
up
one of
there.
your peacekeepers into that IFV and watch what happens.
I've completely lost what he was saying. To garrison a peacekeeper in the IFV, select him and right click on the... Where's the IFV? Oh, this little vehicle. Oh, okay.
Right here. 10-4, sir. On point.
Oh, no, don't do
10-4,
that.
sir.
There we go.
If I may, normally the IFV's weapon works best against aircraft. But once you garrisoned your peacekeeper into it, it changed into an anti-infantry weapon. While the IFV can only contain one infantry unit at a time, other vehicles can hold more, and can transport your infantry around the battlefield. For example, the Riptide ACV is admittedly a good transport for getting infantry quickly and safely from one point to another, although infantry cannot fire out of it. Garrison your remaining infantry into the Riptide now.
Okay, got
now
that.
that they're garrisoned, let's move your Riptide across this lake and over to the shore on the other side. Look for the marker on the radar.
And we shall just go here.
Let's pull it up.
There we go. Here he comes.
Riptides are a special type of unit in that they're amphibious, meaning they can traverse both land and water. As my comrade said, not all units are amphibious, so it's good to make note of the ones that are. Some units behave differently on land and water. For instance, when your Riptide is on water, its torpedo tubes open to give it additional firepower. Now that you've made it to the other side, let's get those peacekeepers out. All transports have the not-so-special ability to evacuate their passengers. Use the evacuate ability now.
So that's the interesting thing about this game, is that units are obviously good for some things, like some tasks and
Finally,
other
let us
tasks.
discuss contextual attacks. A contextual attack is what you get when your cursor changes to something other than
If I just click off that so I can actually talk for a second.
very
Hold on.
unexpectedly.
No, because it's still going. So the interesting thing about that is that you have units that obviously do different things in different situations, which is quite fun. I like how the torpedoes open up when it's in water automatically. That's a nice little feature.
Where do you want me?
Hello, Tanya.
This Agent Tanya has different ways of attacking targets depending on the type of target. When you order her to attack enemy infantry, such as these lifelike robots, your cursor will be that of a normal attack cursor. However, when you highlight an enemy vehicle or structure, you get a demolition cursor.
Oh.
When ordered to demolish a target, Tanya will move very close to the target, set some charges, and blow it up. This is an example of a contextual attack. Go ahead and dispose of those forces using the commando.
Okay, so just quickly get rid of these guys.
I bet he could use a break. Say goodbye. Cha-ching. No
And this one.
problem. Another loser. Hey you, wait up.
And then
Knock, knock.
demolish. Nice.
Tanya here. Say goodbye. Don't blink.
It must be a stance thing then, that they're not
Other
attacking
units, such as
instantly.
our allied spies, like this one here, also have contextual attacks. Select the spy, then use his contextual attack on one of those enemy training dummies. Now who's the dummy, am I right? As you can see, the spy's primary ability is to disguise himself as the enemy.
Ah.
Alternatively, if you highlight an enemy structure, you can try to infiltrate it to disrupt the enemy's base.
Infiltration has different effects depending on which type of structure is infiltrated. Experiment with all the possibilities.
I think I will.
Incidentally, the Empire of the Rising Sun Shinobi unit may also infiltrate structures. Only the tactless Soviets lack an infiltrator.
Oh! But why?
Come on, lads, we have to get through this. Commander, that's the end of this lesson. See you in the next one.
So again, just while I'm in between missions, I will do some personal things. So I just had to do some personal things in my personal life, personally. So we're going to carry on with the next... I'm going to go to advanced tactics because I want to learn about stances and see how they deal with stances. And then I'll probably just play the first mission and take it from there.
Back for more then, Commander. In this particular lesson, we'll be going over some of the more advanced play mechanics that will separate the men from the boys. From earlier lessons, you should be aware of the Allied spy and some of his capabilities by now. Spies can disguise themselves as enemy units. Only scout units, the Allied attack dog, Soviet warbear, and Imperial burst drone can detect disguised enemy units. Spies and Imperial shinobi can also infiltrate enemy structures. When you infiltrate a structure, it'll impair your enemy's base in various ways, which should give you the upper hand. For example, if you infiltrate that enemy reactor, the entire base will power down for a while. Go ahead and infiltrate the instant generator by right-clicking on it whilst your spy is selected.
Watch out for scouts.
Okay.
I'll have a look around.
So we'll infiltrate.
And press the D key on your keyboard. Notice how your cursor changed. Right-click on the target destination near your construction yard to order your tanks to retreat. Another benefit of reverse moving is that it keeps a unit's stronger front armor facing the enemy. Most vehicles are more vulnerable from the rear and flanks, so when you retreat from enemies using a normal move command, you'll turn tail and take more damage. Reverse moving allows your unit's stronger front armor to take the brunt of the fire.
Good job, sir. Your units made it back and were able to whittle down those enemy tanks health enough for your base defenses to finish them off. Had you issued a normal move order back to your base, your Guardian tanks might not have fared as well. Incidentally, should the enemy catch you off guard with an attack, listen for audio cues from your intel officer and visual cues on radar to tip you off. To jump to the most recent radar event, just hit the spacebar.
Enemy commando detected.
Or to get back to your main base from anywhere in battle, tap the H key. Oh, pants. It looks like the Empire is sending another attack wave, but this time they've come at us with infantry. Your base defenses are strong against infantry, but with that many of the blighters, I don't think it's going to be enough. So, a good way to dispatch large quantities of infantry is to crush them with vehicles. Not all vehicles can crush infantry, so it's good to familiarize yourself with the ones that can. Small vehicles like your IFVs and Riptides are examples of vehicles that can't crush. On the other hand, larger vehicles like Guardian tanks and assault destroyers can crush a man like so many potato crisps. What's more, some of the largest vehicles in Red Alert 3 are big enough to crush other, smaller vehicles. Anyhow, let's crush those robots.
Wait! You may wish to assign your tanks to a control group first. This is an important way of managing your forces. To assign units to a control group, select them, then hold the control key and press a number key. Do this now, please.
Guardian tank.
Good. You may now select those units at any time by pressing the corresponding number key. You can also jump to the group by double tapping the key. Now, please proceed with crushing my robots.
Thought you'd never ask. To crush enemy infantry, select your Guardian tanks and issue a move order behind the enemy infantry. You can also issue a force move command using the G hotkey or using the Advanced Commands tab near the bottom of the screen. Issue a move command to the designated location with your tanks now.
Approaching area.
Seeing as how that Rising Sun base seems intent on taking us down, let's go over some ways to get your units to protect your base without being drawn out by the enemy. All of your units can be set to different stances, which affect their behavior. All units start off in guard stance, meaning they will auto-acquire enemies that come within their attack range and pursue them for a short distance if they try to flee. Once the dust settles, your units will return to their original positions. We need to have some of our units on defense for our base, but not pursue our enemies.
So we had that in
To do
Dawn of
this,
War.
we
I
need to
realised
put
that my
them into
microphone was
hold
muted, so I
ground
apologise.
stance.
I was talking.
First, select one or more of your tanks. Now click on the Advanced Commands panel in the bottom right of your
But we did
screen
have this in
next
Dawn
to
of
the
War with
unit
the different
portrait.
stances.
As you can see, this panel reveals some additional controls for your units. Select the Hold Ground button to change your unit's stance.
So hold ground. Are these the stances on the bottom? Yes.
Simple as that, you've just changed your unit's stance. Keep in mind that no matter what stance your units are in, any orders you issue will always
Not
be
move to
followed.
engage. Nice.
Stances will only affect how units behave when not under your direct control. Now,
Just turning the
take 3
microphone
Guardian
up a little
tanks,
bit.
not counting our field instructor, and move one to each of the designated locations and put them into a hold ground stance.
So
Guardian tank. Gentlemen, let's move.
you're hold ground.
Guardian tank, good to go.
You're also
Of course,
hold
sir.
ground. Where's my other Guardian tank? Where's my tank?
Ready
Ah,
as
there we go.
always. Capital.
Yep.
Perfect. What say we also set up some base defenses? Each faction has a couple of its own base defenses. The Allies have multi-gunner turrets, for example. Select the Support Structures tab in the sidebar, build a multi-gunner turret, and place it near your tanks.
Okay. So multi-gunner turret near the tank. I can't do more than one at a time, can I? I might be able to shift 5, but I don't want to do that. Ooh, finger pop. So pop it there.
Multi-gunner turrets change weapons if you put different infantry into them, though the rocket launchers they use by default should be handy in most cases.
So that's nice to know.
You can also build walls from your support structures queue. To do so, build and place one wall segment, then build and place another along the same row as the first. You'll see the build grid show green to indicate where you can form a solid wall. Careful though, each wall segment costs you, so longer walls are more expensive. Walls are useful for blocking smaller forces like those pesky engineers, always trying to steal your structures. Go on and try building a solid wall at the front of your base.
Okay. Is it because I have this? Oh, that's... I see. So I can't queue any more walls. Where should I put it? It said front. I don't know which one's the front, so I'll just put it here. Oh, I see. It attaches like that.
Capital. Now, if the Rising Sun attacks,
Oh, I
we'll
see.
have some extra defenses waiting for them that they won't be able to draw away from our base. And here they come. As you can see,
Ah,
they've decided
that's
to
interesting.
retreat back to base. But your Guardian tanks stood their ground and didn't continue after them. Had your Guardian tanks followed them back, they most likely would have been destroyed by the Empire's own base defenses.
Yes, the Empire's base defenses are quite impressive. You may need to use combined arms to defeat them. In fact, if you depend overmuch on just one or two types of units, you are bound to fail. Thankfully, it is easy to manage multiple types of units at once. Try selecting all your combat forces on the battlefield using the Q key.
Q key.
Good. Notice you have multiple unit types in the contextual tab in your sidebar at right. One type of unit in your group will always be selected. To cycle between unit types, simply tap the tab hotkey. Try this now. Switching unit types in this fashion makes it easier to use your mixed group special abilities without deselecting the group. We should also briefly touch on waypoint mode for its useful. Waypoint mode lets you queue up move or attack orders. To use waypoint mode, hold the Alt key while issuing move or attack orders as normal with units selected. Your units will complete the orders in sequence.
Could we be of
Auto
help, sir?
Q. What should I do? I'll do while issuing move and
We'll
attack.
be on our best behavior.
And then they go there. I see.
Now, earlier we had mentioned how directional armor comes into play during battles. Another type of armor bonus your units can receive comes from an automatic reaction to enemy fire called suppression. Suppression only affects infantry units. When infantry units become suppressed, they go prone on the ground and continue firing. Suppressed infantry are slower, but more resistant to damage. Send your infantry into that city square there and attack that garrison structure.
Okay, so I'm going to line control 1 these guys.
Yo.
Oh, I can. I don't know why, but I feel like that's easier. And then attack the garrison structure. They have javelins.
Banzai! As you approached the structure, your units came under enemy fire, and some of them were suppressed as a result of the enemy attacks. Due to this suppressed position, your units could absorb more damage and in turn deal more damage
that's
to that
interesting.
enemy structure, allowing them to destroy it.
Oh, what was that for?
That was for my robots.
Well, good job, Commander. You now know some of the advanced tactics that'll surely make you a worthy adversary on the battlefield. And would you believe it? There are still more advanced tactics and commands for you to learn. Just dig into the options screen for a complete command list. But do that on your own time. This lesson's over, and there's only one more left. We're heading over to it now.
Right, I think that's going to be my last tutorial mission, because I want to actually play a proper campaign now. So, just while I'm here, let me just check. Right. I shall play a new campaign. I'll be Soviets. You'll be able to see the live action cutscenes now. Look at Tim Curry. What a brilliant man. I love him.
As you can see, our situation is shockingly grim.
It's Dr.
All our divisions
Frankenfurter.
are concentrated in Europe, pushing the Allies west. This empire knows very well that we're vulnerable right now. They will be expecting us to fall swiftly. At this very moment, their invasion force
There's probably not
moves
much I'm going to be saying over
relentlessly
these
towards
cutscenes.
Leningrad. I have chosen you to defend the USSR in this difficult hour because I need a commander who does not believe in defeat. Someone who will not simply drive our enemies back, but ultimately annihilate them, humiliate them, and show them no mercy. General Kirkhoff. Would you like to meet our new commander?
New commander?
Yes. We're sending him to protect Leningrad.
Even though I told you it was foolhardy to try and defend that city.
If Leningrad falls, the Soviet people will begin to lose hope.
Yes? Well, I wish him luck then. The Empire's technology is highly advanced, and he will likely be vastly outnumbered, but of course, it is an honor to sacrifice one's life for the motherland, is it not?
Indeed.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a nation to defend.
Comrade Dasha will be your information officer and will coordinate all our communication.
Thank you, Your Excellency.
So I think that's Gina Carano.
The armies of the Empire are closing in as we speak.
Make haste, Commander. Time is of the essence.
Although I can't remember what her face looks like now. So obviously I'm going to solo. Yeah.
We know little about the Empire's invasion force other than they are extremely mobile. They have surrounded Leningrad and are assaulting the city by way of the canals. Save our great metropolis. It is a symbol of the people's revolution. We've assigned the legendary sniper Natasha to your command. She will help you to help defend the city and eradicate the invading Imperial soldiers. Do svidaniya.
That's the lady on the box.
Leningrad is under siege. Repel the Imperial invaders and protect the fortress using our remaining forces in the vicinity.
I was aware of that the first 20
Natasha
times you told me.
herself is available to assist in this dark hour. Your objectives are: secure the fortress in the heart of Leningrad. Once secure, more forces will be available. Good luck to you.
Okay, so now we're actually going to get into some gameplay.
Has kept us from getting onto the island. We're now attempting emergency landing operation. Use the surviving forces to secure the fortress.
Establishing battlefield control. Stand by. New objective received. Select Natasha. She excels against enemy infantry.
Good to be working with you again, Commander.
Natasha can call down an airstrike on the gates.
Right, apologies for the dead air. My wife has just got off work, so she wants to talk to me.
Target set, Command.
So we are going to order an airstrike on this gate. Nice, and then we can move up, I believe, and take out these soldiers.
Doesn't have a chance. He won't get far.
Actually, if I just attack move.
The pleasure's all.
Surprise!
Nice. So she should be able to take them all out now without me clicking on them individually. Oh, apart from that last one.
Objective complete.
Hey, comrade, it's Oleg.
Oleg.
They made me your co-commander for this mission. Let's catch up if we live through this, yeah?
Well, I didn't go over co-commanders in the tutorials, but that's going to be
They only take
fine.
orders from me, but hey, you can always boss me around if you want.
So Oleg can just...
New objective received. New construction options. Select
I
your
see,
barracks
so-
and train
oh, I
5
see.
flag troopers to fight for you.
Select the barracks and train 5.
Training. Flag troopers are effective against air targets and vehicles.
Like my scope? What next?
Black trooper doing my time.
Okay.
That couldn't have been the last of them. What are those sneaky goats planning?
Flag trooper doing my
Select your barracks and train 5 flag troopers to fight for you.
I'm doing it right now. I'm doing it as we speak.
time.
Greetings from the Empire of the Rising Sun. I am Commander Kenji Tenzai, and it will be a great
Oh,
pleasure
he's
to be
very handsome.
dismantling your cherished city today.
Look at how handsome that man is.
Attacks incoming from the south. My forces are on it.
Where on earth did they get this monstrous army? Hurrah!
So I'm going to stay here, keep them here for now and see how they deal with it.
Targeting for airstrike. Air support, come in.
I may not need air. There we go. I don't need air support, but I will assist them here.
Target set. Air support, come in.
So that air support didn't really do anything.
Ready to bomb it.
Okay. So they're going to keep pouring in, are they? I don't think I need to have Oleg do anything. So I'll keep him there. Actually, I'll keep you here as well.
A unit is under attack.
There's still more of them.
If I have her stand back a bit.
So this is what they call community service.
Then that way, if I keep getting attacked.
New construction options. Train more conscripts to defend the fortress.
Okay. I'm going to do 5 of these as well. So this is going to be group 1. Conscript will be group 2.
A unit is under attack.
Conscript training finished. The enemy's here. Conscript training finished.
You're gonna make me carry
Conscript
this.
training finished. Conscript here.
Unit lost.
That's alright, I can get another flak person. So I said there, so they're going to be group 2. Another flak unit.
A unit is under attack.
Black trooper doing my time.
Premier will be very proud.
Black trooper.
Objective complete.
I have to carry this around.
There we go, if I double tap, it just selects all of them.
The real attacks are only about to begin.
Okay, and how many conscripts? I'm going to have 2 conscripts.
Training.
The Empire has begun assaulting the Hermitage Museum. It contains Russia's most precious historical treasures. Saving it will go a long way in giving our people hope at this dark hour.
Okay.
New bonus objective
Conscript
received.
excited to fight.
The Bullfrog can eject your infantry up to the Hermitage.
Here I am. I go.
I got transport right here.
Bullfrogs are amphibious anti-aircraft troop transports. Their flak cannons can quickly destroy enemy aircraft. The only means for passengers to exit a Bullfrog is via the man cannon, which can be used to launch infantry behind enemy lines.
I like that. So I put them all in.
Yeah.
Nice. And then I shall eject them. If I eject them there. Eject them there. I can't actually because he needs...
We can go anywhere you like.
Oh, so I see. So if he comes here...
Then of course.
And then eject passengers there.
Cannons ready.
Are you supposed to do something? For the Union!
And then we are going to attack these Japanese people.
A unit is under attack.
Field promotion, here I come. For Mother Russia. I'll do it.
Okay. So once we'll automatically fire on enemy structures as well as units and will indefinitely. Okay.
We march to victory.
I may bring my flak.
Bonus objective complete.
Should I bring my flak guys
You
over or
saved the
no?
Hermitage. This will restore great hope for the people.
No, I don't think I
It
need
is
it.
not yet time to celebrate, for if the fortress falls, it will all be for nothing.
Your troopers are needed back at the fortress.
Okay.
The Bullfrog transport may launch them across the canal.
Whatever you say.
Funds transferred.
How far can it take them though?
We serve glorious Union.
Bullfrog is here for you.
Oh, I can launch them quite far then.
Where do you like to go? Getting a little seasick? No problem.
I'll have this bullfrog back here just in case I need it again.
The fortress is under attack. The Empire's forces are approaching through the canals from all sides. The fortress must not fall, comrade.
Okay. So you can do 1 and 2, or shift groups together, shift select groups together. My microphone has gone quite quiet all of a sudden, and I don't really know why. I'll turn it up just a tad, just a touch. That should be good.
Our ally is under attack.
Okay.
A unit is under attack.
What's it gonna be?
So, yeah.
The objective received.
Yeah.
Actually, if you go there and hold.
To the last. I'm gonna need you to take out those battleships.
Okay. So you also need... Are we also getting attacked from this side or no? Ah, okay, so those battleships are all over. So what do I want to do? What are my objectives? I'm stuck. Destroy the battleships. Use Natasha and the magnet satellites. Okay. So if
Many will
Natasha...
die this day. Going in for the kill.
And these guys... Right.
I wasn't doing anything. Have we won yet?
Just wait till I get these chains off.
Line up, little.
We have granted you access to our new weapon, the magnetic satellite. This powerful magnet in space can focus its traction on a single metallic vehicle. Use it wisely.
I just need these flak troopers to kill these
Open the top
guys.
secret protocols menu and choose the magnetic satellite.
Because I don't want Natasha to die.
You're gonna make me carry this?
So many targets, so little time. Target set, Commander.
Okay, so then I do the magnet cannon, or magnet
I
satellite.
won't rust if I go for a dip.
Natasha can swim out into the canals in order to call in airstrikes against the battleships. The magnetic satellite is ready to use. Use it against the battleships.
And how do I use that?
Select target.
Oh, I see.
You may select and guide the magnetic satellite to affect more targets.
Oh, okay, so I completely misunderstood how that worked. So I'm going to try...
Ally is under attack.
I'm ready for a kill.
I'm going to try this again.
For the kill.
So when my satellite comes back...
Doesn't have a chance.
So this is what they call community service.
Good job.
I'll
Only a few
bring
more
my flak
battleships
back
left.
over here. So they can defend. This box select is no longer
Natasha
working.
Volkova. I'm ready for a kill.
Conscript excited to fight.
Okay, I need my conscripts back. I need...
Magnetic satellite ready.
Where are you? Natasha? Natasha?
Select target. A unit is under attack. Select target. Select target.
Can I not? How does that work then? Because it says you can control it, but how?
Just wait till I get these
No,
chains
where's
off.
Natasha? Where is she? There.
You like my skull? Yes, I see him.
So once she takes out these guys. No, that's not what I wanted. So you,
I wasn't doing anything.
yeah. So if I set them to hold,
Whenever you're ready.
and then just do
Units
Natasha
Am I getting close?
or Natasha.
Where's that food you brought?
So flak. I could do it. I'll do another flak.
Training.
I always get what I want. Watch
Black
this.
trooper doing my time.
Magnetic satellite ready.
It says with a guidable tractor beam. How does that work?
A unit is under attack.
So if I just do...
Select target. Select target. Select target.
Yeah, I don't understand. When it says a movable tractor beam or a guidable tractor beam, I can't.
Is under attack.
Oh, I don't know why it gives me all these controls if the controls aren't going to work. But it's not that bad.
Point in their direction.
I can deal with it. Nice. So that's mission 1, I think, over. I'm not sure.
Expect to see much more of me and the other Shogunate leaders.
I hope they're more of a challenge than you.
Objective complete.
The fortress still stands and Leningrad is safe. Excellent work. The Premier will surely be pleased.
Oleg. Lovely. So, I'm going to leave it there, I think, for today, because this has been a 90-minute stream, and I like to do fairly short streams. Also, my ears are hurting from my headphones. But I thought that we could do... Oh, excuse me. I thought that we could do Red Alert 3 because it's been on my mind recently, and I decided to check Steam for it, rather. And when I saw it was £20, I decided that I would buy it, especially since it was the bundle and it came with all like the DLC and extra stuff. So if you do want to see all that, if you want to stick around for Red Alert 3, I'll probably be playing that for the foreseeable future. If you want to see some of the DLC and extra content, then please let me know and I will go over that content. As always, this has been broadcast simultaneously on YouTube and Twitch, so if you're on Twitch and you'd like to come and join me on YouTube, you can just search Jawa Media. Likewise, if you're on YouTube and you want to come and join me on Twitch, you can search Kyojin2099. There should be a 20 there. I keep meaning to change that. But either way, whatever you decide to watch me on, I'm very appreciative for the support. Even just a single view means that someone's actually watching this, and I'm not doing it all in vain. So thank you very much for watching. If you could, like, subscribe, comment, join me in chat, whatever you want, whatever you feel comfortable doing, is very much appreciated. So I'm going to end the stream here, and with that, I shall see you all next time.